Flashback to the year 2020. Scalpers are ravaging thousands of PS5s and reselling them at ridiculous markups because people really want PlayStations. Fast forward to today and they're doing the same thing with Pokemon cards.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
But the question now is, why do people really want these trading cards? Why the hell is there violence, mania, and emptied out stores where there are these packs of glorified pieces of cardboard? The answer lies in how Pokemon cards are secretly a recession indicator, and there's 3 reasons why. But first, why haven't you liked the video yet? It really helps my video's performance if you press the button. So just press the damn button. In all seriousness though, thank you for the support on my last video. I really enjoyed making it, and I'm happy that you enjoy watching it. This is a heart. This is supposed to be a heart. Okay, so we need to explain what a recession indicator is, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's something that indicates that tough economic times are ahead of us, like a higher unemployment rate, a falling stock market, or a decrease in spending on discretionary items, aka spending less on your wants so that you can afford your needs. I think that the cards have more to do with the last thing, a decrease in spending on discretionary items. I can already hear you saying that Pokemon cards are seeing a ridiculous spike in demand, and that kind of undermines my point. Quite the opposite. Which gets me to my first point, that Pokemon card sales are spiking during a time when people feel pessimistic about the economy. This isn't new because we've seen this type of phenomenon before, and it was called doomer spending. When taking a look at the Consumer Confidence Index, which is a very important index that measures how people feel about the current and future economic conditions, we see that it's been oscillating between about 60 to 75 points for a couple of years. When the index is below 100, that's a sign of pessimism on the economy. But if we also take a look back, people are still continuing to spend like fucking crazy, specifically Gen Z. This is doomer spending, and it's a form of escapism when we feel like the world is against us. And the heightened demand for Pokemon cards tells a story with the same theme as well. Escapism. I believe that people have resorted to gambling with Pokemon cards as their last option. And this is further validated by my second point, that Gen Z has been shown to gamble when times are tough.
People turning to sports betting to try and chip away at their mounting student debt, which may be the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Keep in mind that this is just student loan debt. Mix this with how credit card debt is at all-time highs, people being unable to pay the Klarna debt from not only doomer spending, but spending on necessity items, and the difficulty Gen Z has with finding a job. You get desperate people resorting to desperate measures during tough economic conditions. And you know, I don't think I've explicitly answered this question yet, but what the fuck does gambling have to do with Pokemon cards? Enter Logan Paul, the guy that started it all. Oh, that kind of rhymes. Almost 3 years ago, he started the initial Pokemon card craze that partially fuels the one that we're seeing now. In this video, he goes to show how valuable some Pokemon cards can be by spending $4 million on an Illustrator Pikachu. What the fuck? It's important to keep in mind that the Pokemon trading card game has always had high price tags pinned to certain cards. But this single event showed this aspect of the cards to a mass amount of people. It opened the floodgates of card collecting for profit to the general public. The caveat is that people don't know which packs hold the valuable cards. It's all chance, it's all gambling. Which gets me to my final point, that there's evidence that lottery consumption increases during turbulent economic times. A study from the National Library of Medicine evaluated the effect of a recession on gambling. They found that at the very least, lottery consumption is recession proof, meaning that recessions don't affect its performance. However, they also cite evidence that there's a positive correlation with recessions and lottery consumption. Looking at this graph of lottery revenues from the Motley Fool shows that there's been some strong gains over the past few years. And when we examine fishing for rare Pokemon cards and people trying to win the lottery, it's almost a one-to-one comparison. For a relatively low cost, you can pull a rare Pokemon card or scratch out the winning number on a lottery ticket. Of course, this is different from casino gambling, as you're not playing against the casino and the Pokemon company, plus retailers don't lose anything if you win big. Keep in mind though that the effects on gambling due to economics is never a for sure thing. Even the article states that, but you never know. Weird things have happened, and it's important to have that open-mindedness to some nuance. This is important as many people point to low unemployment, a higher stock market, and lower inflation as signs that we're far from a recession. Those things don't tell the whole story. For starters, unemployment is calculated by taking the number of unemployed individuals and dividing that by the total amount of people who are able to work in the US. There are some problems with this though. People can fall out of the workforce if they haven't found a job in 6 months, and the people that have more than one job are double counted for calculating the total workforce. Both of these things can drive the unemployment rate lower, essentially fudging the numbers. Plus, damn near half of college grads don't work in a career field relevant to their degree. Most of the stock market is owned by wealthier people, allowing them to see most of the gains compared to the average person. Even if inflation is lower now, in the past, higher inflation caused people to heavily rely on credit, forcing us to reach all-time high credit card debt and rising delinquencies. People just don't have the money even if prices are lower. Look, this isn't new. There have been unconventional recession indicators like the stripper index, and Gen Z is showing us another one: Pokemon fucking trading cards. If you got this far, go ahead and like the video. Check out this video if you want to learn how to take part in the gains of the stock market, and this one if you want to hear me rant about my university. People really like that one for some reason. Peace.